Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
The Long Island Lacrosse Showcase has been the premier recruiting event in the nation for over a decade. Led by high school coaches in Nassau and Suffolk counties, our event annually draws the biggest and best college coaches. Past participants and MVPs have been Joey Spallina, Mac O'Keefe, and Xavier Arline. Registration is now open for this must-attend summer event. Register now at lilacshowcase.com and follow us on Instagram at lilacshowcase. And coming this fall, for the first time, our Girls Showcase.
From Sal Champi Field at Boomer Esiason Stadium, the Varsity Media Sports Network presents this Suffolk Division II showdown between the Bulls of Smithtown West, and the Redmen of East Islip. Today's Suffolk County showdown is presented by Breakout Goaltending Group, as well as the Long Island Metro Lacrosse Foundation. Well, a pleasant good evening to you. Dylan Butler, James Curcio on hand, the entire Varsity Media crew for what should be a fun one in Suffolk Division II. As Smithtown West, they come in with a 5-3 record overall, 4-3 in Suffolk D2, and East Islip 6-3 and 5-3 in D2. And James, it's not too early to start looking at the standings and kind of looking to see where your placement is, and as such, this is a pretty important game for both.
Yeah, in Suffolk County, the way League Two is set up, you pretty much play every opponent once. So there is a good chance with the way that these two teams are seeded and with the momentum that they have, they may even see each other in the playoffs.
Yeah, we heard from Tommy Zumo, and the same is true for Bobby Maltasante Jr. This is midterms week with some really important games, and for Smithtown West, they're coming in off a 11-6 win over John Glenn, and they got a big performance offensively from John Savino and Tommy Highland, and of course another great performance at the faceoff X from Nico Cottage, who will be instrumental today. But first we'll take a look at the players to watch for Smithtown West. And on attack, there you see him, Will Fitzsimmons, the Newberry commit. 14 goals, 9 assists. He's a 3-year varsity starter, which when you wear that Smithtown jersey certainly means something. And on the defense, it's Nick Noche, the senior bound for Bridgeport. Like Fitzsimmons, he's that leadership, that anchor of the back line, not only as a better defender, but also on a young team, that guy who can bring people together.
Yeah, the biggest thing with these Smithtown West guys is it is balanced. As far as defensively, midfield, and attack, they have the different ages. They got 11, 12, 10th graders, but everybody just does their job, and everybody puts a little piece of the puzzle together to make the complete picture for them.
East Islip, we had their last game. Was out at Comsoag on Monday evening, and it was a tough loss, a 2-goal loss, and Tommy Zumo wasn't pleased with his shooting percentage, but listen, Adam Wacholder is one of the best goalies around on Long Island, so you tip your cap, I think, to the Comsoag goalie, but certainly Zumo wants a little bit better production from his guys up front. and we'll show you their players to watch. And one of the guys certainly who's being tasked with that is Matt McEntee. He's been on the scene for a couple years now. He is no doubt the alpha of this East Islip attack. You see his numbers 25 and 19. And defensively, Anthony Affronti, he brings the physicality, he brings the motor, and he's bringing that big stick with him as well, trying to stop this balanced, as you said, Bulls attack.
And I think that's going to be the big key for East Islip here, and for both teams. I think the team that comes out and is able to make saves and play solid defense is going to come out on top. Obviously, you got McEntee for East Islip. He's top 20 in Long Island in points, and he's top 25 in goals. So this kid can play.
You see some of the Redmen warming up before the start of this one. Let's take a look at the starting lineups first for the visiting Bulls of Smithtown West. And they bring an attack of Fitzsimmons, Tommy Highland, and Liam Byrne. Highland, the junior, the lefty, and Byrne, a two-year varsity player, first year starting, but great numbers for the sophomore, 16 and 11 on the season. You've got a Hopkins-bound midi in Carmelo Pace. Look out for him, the junior two-way guy, John Savino, and Josh Hoffman, the freshman, round out that first midfield line. And then your guys with the close D, you've got Evan Kozlauskas, a two-year varsity player, first-year starter. Noche we mentioned, CJ Guglielmo as well for Smithtown West, coached by Bobby Moltisanti Jr., the Oceanside grad of 1992. He is in his 12th season at Smithtown West. Little known fact, I mean, he knows it, I know it. We were both at St. John's together. He played for the Red Storm from 1993 to 95. Also played football on that team. Bob Ricca, head coach. His own father was the offensive coordinator. Played a year after that. When they dropped the program, he played it out at Dowling. So that's the Smithtown West starters around the field. Let's show you their goalie now, and he'll play an important role. He's really good as well. Dylan Bonacera, 74 saves on the season, a 65% save percentage, two-year starter. He's got that ability, Moltisanti says, to make the circus save. So he makes the ones that he's supposed to and also the ones that he's not supposed to. You always want that in a goalie.
Coach Moltisanti, he knows what Smithtown has to get done. He's seen success. He's been there in the playoffs. He was a assistant coach on the staff when Rob Pennell was there. So this is no surprise. This is no new game to him. He knows what kind of weight that this carries.
Let's take a look at the East Islip starting lineup. It's unchanged from Monday night. It's Heffernan, McEntee, and Baldino up front. You've got Parker, Ventizzulo, and Hannigan. Hannigan just an 8th grader, but tremendous lacrosse IQ. And your close D of Affronti, Burns, and Allen. For Tommy Zumo, he's got that construction hat on, trying to build this program up, and he said ahead of these two games that we have for you on the Varsity Media Sports Network, he is ahead of schedule. And having a construction project ahead of schedule is always a good thing.
Always a good thing, and Coach Zumo did it the right way. He's built it from the ground up, and I think the biggest thing here is the community is bought in, the town is bought in. You see tons of kids from East Islip playing lacrosse and playing travel lacrosse, so he's done it the right way. He's got a few horses on this team and a few young guys, but they're ready to rock right now. Although they only have a senior or two, they're ready to go right now.
Zumo, a 2001 graduate of Islip in his second season here, and you're right. So those young kids in the field behind us there practicing, and it's got a nice atmosphere here at EI Lacrosse. And in the cage for the Redmen here tonight, he had a great game, kind of overshadowed a little bit by Wachholder the other night, but Drew Walendowski, the sophomore, you see his saves, 82 on the season, 55% save percentage as well. Solid and even keeled is what his head coach says, and those are two attributes you always want to have in the guy who's facing shots like he faces.
When he plays well, and East Islip is able to hold the opponent to single digits, 8 goals, 9 goals. They're 6-1 this year, so this is going to be important for them in this game.
We'll take a look at the keys to both teams before the anthem and the opening face-off, as we spoke to both head coaches. For Smithtown West, it's about face-offs and possessions, of course, and they're pretty confident they can get the face-off edge. You want to get high efficiency on their shots, and you want to clear after defensive stops. No second chances for East Islip. Zumo wants the same. Possession with an exclamation point. Also finish our opportunities a little bit better and play great defense and clear effectively. So it's Smithtown West. It's East Islip opening face-off when we return right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live sportscasts for any event. Our productions include announcers, multiple camera angles, graphics, instant replay, and so much more.
Hankinson getting it back. Hankinson going in, dropping it back. The shot of the goal! That's it! That's it! Norton! Pittsburgh, the Class A champions!
If you want to enhance your event or make the experience better for your viewers, reach out to Varsity Media today and learn more about our live sportscast. Contact Varsity Media at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Look at the sky right there. Beautiful evening here in East Islip. We're back at Sal Champe Field at Boomer Esiason Stadium. Dylan Butler, James Curcio, and the entire Varsity Media crew with you for this Suffolk Division II showdown between Smithtown West and East Islip. A reminder before we start, you want to hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. You also want to follow us on our social media handles at Varsity Media on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Last time these two teams played last year, Smithtown West pulled out a 14-8 win. The Trebbing boys had themselves a day. Ronnie and Ryan combined for 8 of Smithtown West's 14 goals in that one. Colin Hansen had 4 and 1. Will Fitzsimmons picked up 4 assists. And Nico Cottage went 20 of 25 from the faceoff X. And that's a little bit of what Moltisanti thinks he can see here tonight in a guy in Cottage's ability. You know, so many great face-off guys, especially in this division, right? You think of Spallina out at Mount Sinai and C.J. Schwartz, of course, at West Islip. But Nico Cottage is right in that mix as well and certainly affects the game in a big way.
And that's going to be huge for them today because when you're on the road and you're coming to play a night game, you want to establish possession and take control of the game early on. We were here last year and we saw Beth Page come off the bus playing East Islip, and they weren't ready to go right away, and they ended up having to come back from down a few goals. So if you're Smithtown West, that's an advantage. Take control of the game and settle yourselves in.
You see the huddle there with Bob Moltisanti and his coaching staff. And it's a proud program, man. Somehow they're just missing that county championship, but an incredible tradition, some remarkable players. Let's show you their All-American. This is incredible when you think about it. The list of All-Americans that they've had at Smithtown West. That's 13 All-Americans. Most recently, it's Ryan Bell, who's playing at Providence, Danny Cadigan at Cornell, Chad Calderon. What a face-off guy he was. Class of 19 as well. Maryland BU. The Keenan boys as well, right? Ryan Keenan, 2-time All-American at Penn State. His brother, Kyle, you see there at Duke. And the Pennell boys as well, our sometime broadcast partner, Rob Pennell. 2007, went to Cornell. There you see him with the showing off the Cornell jersey. And, of course, his brother James Pennell, class of 12 to Virginia. But that is an impressive list of All-Americans for Smithtown West.
Oh, for sure. And you look at the start of it. Rob kind of picked it up for so long. Since '92, there was no All-Americans, and Rob set the tone. And I remember playing him in high school, and he was just so fundamentally sound. I mean, I'm not going to say what the box score was and how many goals and assists he had on me, but, I mean, he was just so fundamentally sound. He did the little things right, and I think that's a perfect example of what the Smithtown West team is. They don't make mistakes. They're going to play that cat and mouse game from the face-off X and winning possessions and trying to take advantage of every opportunity that you give them.
All right, we're set to go here as we head to the face-off X, where on the left you see Stephen Coleman. Pretty good numbers for him as well, 67%, but probably one of his toughest tasks today is battling Nico Cottage, the Towson commit, the junior. He's at 82% this season. I think maybe Cal Gerard at Manhasset is maybe the only guy who's facing off at a higher percentage, and you see Cottage winning the first.
Interesting, if you saw Smithtown West actually started a short stick down on defense, so if they won the face-off back, they had a shorty to handle the ball right away.
Now they're going to attempt to clear. You see the ride, an aggressive one by East Islip. That's Ethan Bernardos. Did he force the turnover? He did. That's a great ride by the sophomore who just back from injury. It wasn't kind of chaos, but he just rode his man. Did
enough. Just got to put in a little work.
And here comes McEntee now as East Islip on attack for the first time. Bernardos at X. They work it up top.
And he's playing midfield now. If you saw, we listed him as an attackman, but Coach knows to get him some easy opportunities, probably starting him at the game at midfield.
McEntee turns, fires, first save of the game as well by Bonacera.
Great save. We want to see McEntee go low with that shot. Most goalies, you want to start low and come up on him as the game goes on. Looked like he kind of shot it in his stick there. Good save.
And you always wonder sort of the individual matchups and who you see on who. I like that early start. You had Pace, a really good short stick D-Midi, who's going to Hopkins against McEntee going to Syracuse. Love it.
Yep. And I think we're going to see a lot of that action, and that may fall into Smithtown West's game plan too.
Yeah, because you could do other things now with the poles, right?
Yep. You can send slides a little bit earlier, and you can pressure out on other guys on the field.
Here comes Savino downhill. Back up top. Pace slings it. Ooh, that got blocked.
Good eat.
And the ball deflects, so it's not in over and back. But here come East Islip coming away with it. That's Charlie Kalinowski. We saw Charlie get a pole goal out at Comstock the other night.
We need one of those to get you going.
Fogo goal. I don't know. My power rankings of them would probably be goalie goal. I haven't had that yet. I'd probably lose my mind on a goalie goal. Pole goal, then Fogo goal for sure. Bouncer, that's wide of the mark.
Yeah, Pace is matching up on McEntee, so Coach has decided that that's what he's going with early on in this game.
From X, spinning, turning, Bernardos with the shot. Another save by Bonacera, but the GB picked up by McEntee.
And that's what we were talking about. Good goalie play early to keep you in the game and settle things down.
And now McEntee will bring Pace with him to GLE. Pops it out. Lefty rip. And that's an easy one for Bonacera to save.
Yeah, another high shot, high to high.
But a failed clearance by Smithtown.
Started with Ryan Parker. Good ride there. He locked off the only short stick that the goalie threw it to.
And now McEntee lowers the shoulder and feeds it back to X. Nice first step from X. That's off the bar by Heffernan. The ground ball picked up by the Bulls. 5 shots already for East Islip, but none in the cage as John Savino gets the clear.
Good shot. He just missed it.
And now, really for the first time, we're going to see Smithtown West try to settle in to their offense. And here is Pace
And if you notice with the stats on Smithtown West, it's very balanced. They're a balanced offense. They're not going to rush it. They're going to take high opportunity and make good plays.
Yeah, John Savino, the Merrimack commit, he's the leading scorer with 16 goals, but then you got Fitzsimmons with 14. Well, Byrne, you got with 16 as well. So they're co-leaders there, and of course Pace as well with 11. So you're right. It's not that one guy. It's a lot of different guys you have to account for. As Savino slings it low to high shot, and there's the first save the other way for Wellandowski.
Yeah, good shot, good save.
So both goalies making early saves, which is exactly what you want if you're a goalkeeper. And look at this. We have a pole goal. Yes,
oh,
we
there it
do!
is. There it is.
Andrew Cooper. And East Islip takes the 1-0 lead.
Here you can see Cooper. He slips behind the midfield. Everybody's riding, but Cooper's able to get deep into the East Islip zone and just grips it and rips it from 10 yards out.
And you could see on the other side, Luke Brown, the 8th grader, was like, oh no, he's coming. I got to get there.
Yep.
But just a step quicker was Cooper, his 3rd goal of the year.
That's huge, man. That's a great way to start the game, and it's a great read by him on the clear. When you have poles that are athletic like that, it helps out big time, man. I mean, the clear rate and your success rate is huge in these kind of games.
Cottage gets the 2nd face-off win.
And here you go. You got Smithtown coming the other way. They got numbers too.
That's really good defense by East Islip. Looked like they had the and one pass, but then EI took that away, and we'll have our first flag of the game. This will go against McEntee.
Little too much there. He was on his back, and there was really no need for it, but Smithtown's going to be man up.
It's a little bit of a free possession here for the Bulls. As there's Pace now. He's got the short stick, at least he does right now. Pace switches hands. Working off a pick is Fitzsimmons, back up to Pace. They'll sling it to the far side. And another flag is thrown.
I'm not sure what that second flag was on.
It was right. It seemed like it was right at that where the player was. Let's see. We'll get the 2 calls.
I don't know if someone said something or maybe it was something inside. I didn't see what the call was.
Yeah, we'll wait for the official to come to the table to give the indication, but you can see the communication here happening.
This is the first penalty by McEntee. Obviously, he pushes him in the back, falls on him a little bit.
So here comes our official. Let's see the offside. 32nd is the one, it appears, right?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh, so
that was the second penalty.
No, I think they just called one. Maybe when he
1,
threw
2,
that first
3.
flag, it looked like it was.
No, you're right. So it's 6-on-5.
Yeah. Okay. So no penalty on McEntee. Oh, he
might
was
have
off.
been the one who was off.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
We would get it eventually.
You know what? It just happened simultaneously, so I think that's why there was a little bit of confusion. East Islip's getting extended out on this man down a little bit, leaving the inside open.
Nice look, and Savino shot wide of the mark.
Yeah, man down. You want to get out on your guy, but you got to be able to get back in and help the crease.
And now we're even. That just the 32nd foul. And there's Pace.
I'll tell you this, though. East Islip defensively, these long poles are athletic. I mean, they move their feet really well. They're able to put pressure on with their stick. But, you know, if you're a young defenseman listening to this, watch these guys. I mean, they don't stop with their feet.
And that's a little bit too, as there's Pace turning, nowhere to go, backed up. And that's a little bit too of what Zumo said in trying to build this program up. You know, he gets a buy-in from the football guys. That's a great look, and in on the hands. That one sails over. But, what do you have at EI, right? You've got physical and athletic football guys, and you get them on the lacrosse field as well, and it really pays dividends for you.
Yeah, you get linebackers. Ooh, good goal.
Yeah, look in front. Tommy Highland ties it up for the Bulls.
Good answer back by Smithtown.
And Highland right at the crease, his 11th goal of the year. Let's take another look. See, it starts with Byrne at X.
I think they just got caught ball watching a little bit.
Watch 22 cut in. There it is.
Yep. I don't know if they really needed to slide there, but it looks like East Islip sent it, and it cost them.
So Highland's 11th of the year, and Byrne, the sophomore, picks up assist number 12. And EI will get the win on that faceoff.
McEntee's got space here.
Yeah, McEntee blows by his guy, fires it wide. He's got some sting on that shot.
So you can see he's getting himself going early. He's active in the game, and I think it's only a matter of time before he kind of creates for somebody else. He's excellent at dodging with his head up. You see his numbers as far as goals and assists go. He's a balanced player.
Now he's got Josh Hoffman on him. Expect the slide to come. It does. Hands off. And he gets it right back. This time draws the pole, and Kozlauskas. Lefty shot. And I think that was saved, right? Did Bonacera get a piece? And no backup.
They got possession, yeah. East Islip went into a 1-4 there, tried to cause a little confusion with some mumbos and some picks and get McEntee either a shot or find an open guy.
Now here comes Smithtown West. Bulls looking to take the lead here as it's Liam Byrne. And up top, it's Savino. And as you mentioned, you see right there, Cooper Wright getting way out on his guy, the LSM. He is a football guy. There's a pass to the crease. Good read by Affronti, or by Jesse Burns, excuse me, and it's taken away.
Parker, big GB, and East Islip's just got to be able to clear it here and get themselves another possession.
And they do just that. Now they even have some numbers spinning. McEntee, the slide comes, and Kozlauskas takes it away. But he just fires it up towards midfield, so it's a loose ball, ground ball.
Over and back.
And that's going to be over and back against East Islip. Tommy Zumo not agreeing with the call. Here's Pace. And it's interesting, too, right, because he's going to Hopkins, more that throwback two-way guy, but that's a little bit of a difference in this Smithtown team is they don't have sort of that alpha guy in this front six, right, that we're so used to seeing them have.
Yeah, I was able to watch some of their film versus West Babylon, and they had a lot of opportunities off the face-off and in transition, and they were just able to make the most of those opportunities.
Bouncer by Highland, and that was wide.
And you can see that these guys have a high IQ. Every shot that they're getting opportunities in front of the net. They just haven't really buried too many of them yet.
Like a Ryan Bell and a Danny Cadigan, right? These were guys who score. Of course, the Pennells, we don't have to speak about that going back, but they always seem to have that guy, Keenan, as you know, like they don't really have that this year, but you're right. As a result, it's the collective that's got to step it up, and a timeout called by East Islip. 2:03 left here in the first quarter. And we mentioned again the Long Island Metro Lacrosse Foundation, a proud sponsor of this broadcast, and their mission is to spread the positive spirit of lacrosse and support the highest ethical standards for all participants through annual initiatives, including targeted grants, scholarship programs, lacrosse education clinics and events to raise awareness and resources in support of the game. The Long Island Metro Lacrosse Foundation. So first time out of the first half used there by Tommy Zumo. And what a great addition he is to this program. Started coaching in 2006, Deer Park, Connecticut, Islip. Spent 7 years as an assistant coach. He lives here in town. He runs the Legacy Lacrosse Travel Program. Of course, played in MLL. He says things don't change much for him, except he's got a little bit more administrative work to do. And now it's his time to decide when to practice. So a great hire there and a great coaching mind. And you know, he utilizes a lot of what he's been able to do in this sport and hand it off to these young guys.
Yeah, he's a guy that never left a game. He played in college, and then he went on to play professional, and he stayed involved. He stayed working with younger kids. He grinded it out, you know, changed schools, changed positions, and now he's here at the helm for East Islip, and they have a great opportunity to put together a run of hopefully tons of years of good lacrosse.
And not easy, of course, in Suffolk Division II.
No, not easy at all.
No pun intended, but a lot of those legacy programs, right, like a Shoreham Wading River and Mount Sinai, and of course those are C Division schools, but you do have to play them in the regular season. But Comstock, that is the program in the Bees, and they have for really all of Pete Mitchell's 25 years at the helm. Yeah,
and remember, you had two teams that were A teams that now dropped into B as far as West Islip and Smithtown. So, I mean, B is, in my opinion, the toughest, I'm going to say, but also the most wide open.
McAtee inside roll, just doesn't get enough on that shot. And then a timeout. That was a great ride by East Islip and Matt Baldino, but just then the timeout was called by Bobby Moltisanti Jr. And we just spoke about the legacy of Zumo, and you know, let's take a second to just chronicle a little bit of Moltisanti's journey as well. And he, an Oceanside graduate, 1992, played for his dad at Oceanside. He was a long-time Sailors head coach and spent his previous to Smithtown West, spent 3 years as the head coach at Connecticut. In 2008-09, he was the Smithtown West assistant under Sean Keenan. And then he also spent 4 years as an assistant under his dad. And we mentioned before, played at St. John's 93-95. Played football there as well. And then he went on and played his last season of lacrosse at Dowling.
Yeah, I think this coach and this team, they resemble each other. You can see that these guys, they play collectively. They're balanced. They're calm. I mean, this is a team that can make a lot of noise when playoff time comes. And you know he's got confidence and faith in his guys. I mean, he uses a timeout with the ball on his own end, so he knows he's coming out, he's running a clear, and he plans on getting the last possession here in the quarter.
You know, as young a team it is, what he does have is that spine, that strength up the middle between Cottage and Bonacera as well, and that's a great 1-2 punch.
They're just so balanced. I mean, you're not going to look at one position and say, you know, this is the guy. It's a little bit different than the way East Islip is built, but they're just such a balanced team.
And they go to the pole to get the clear. Nick Noche.
Noche did his job and cleared the ball. He just did a little too much with it there at the end.
Will we have a second pole goal? Cooper this time hands it off.
You want to hold it here for the last possession.
You do, as we're inside the final minute of this first quarter, and we're tied at 1. McAtee coming out of the box.
Yep, just roll that.
It's interesting here too, right? So see who's coming out on him, and it's Hoffman, the freshman. But again, we expect once he gets anywhere close, the slide's going to come. Hoffman plays him tight now. But McAtee's got wheels. Slide comes. There's a pass, downhill dodge, overhand shot,
Wow.
blocked in front, rebound. McEntee loses it in front as well. And it's into the stick of Bonacera. 2 shots there for EI.
Be enough time for one more shot.
Capitalize, 5 seconds. Oh, here's Pace with time and room and distance, and it's eaten again. And it was McEntee who did so, and you'll love that from one of your leaders to get that kind of a block. Well, it's been a fun one. Smithtown West and East Islip. And you know how I love these. Pole goal. Coop says, I gotcha.
Coop, there it is.
I love it. Smithtown West, East Islip tied at 1 after 1 right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
The Long Island Lacrosse Showcase has been the premier recruiting event in the nation for over a decade. Led by high school coaches in Nassau and Suffolk counties, our event annually draws the biggest and best college coaches. Past participants and MVPs have been Joey Spallina, Mac O'Keefe, and Xavier Arline. Registration is now open for this must-attend summer event. Register now at lilacshowcase.com and follow us on Instagram at lilacshowcase. And coming this fall, for the first time, our Girls Showcase.
We welcome you back to Sal Champion Field at Boomer Esiason Stadium. Dylan Butler, James Curcio with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Second quarter face-off upon us in this 1-1 tie in Suffolk Division II.
It's like a Navy-Army football game right now. It's just a battle of inches, and eventually it's going to break open for somebody.
And as such, we have a flyover now.
There you
just
go.
Mentioned it.
I can.
Right, even when you lose face-offs and you can come down and get possession, then the face-off is kind of null and void.
Yep, for sure. Big clear there by Rizzuto. Yeah, and a nice cut to the net there too. They didn't see him, but that was a huge clear.
And now McEntee with pace, looking to get reunited. McEntee lowers the shoulder, spins, turns, and looks, and that's a low bouncer of a pass off the mark, and it'll be Smithtown West ball.
And what knocks the pass off is Pace just plays great defense. He doesn't overplay him one way, and he's able to just force him back. And you can see Pace huffing and puffing a little because that's a tough guy to keep up with all game. And he's doing an excellent job.
Yeah, we mentioned it before, top 8 in the 300-meter in state qualifiers this year for Matt McEntee.
Yeah, he can fly. I coached him as a rising sophomore in the New York State Regional, and I mean there was just nobody that he can't run by. Hence why he's going to Cuse. One of the many reasons, but really nice kid, great kid, but great player too.
Yeah, I mentioned it last game. I think you're going to need like a charter bus to get all the family, or a few of them. You're going to have like a cavalcade of buses getting up to the Dome with so many Long Island players who are there now and who are coming soon as well. McEntee, one of them, and
Spallina, the other one.
Well, you got two more Spallinas going up there.
Yep. T-Mac's going, right?
Yeah.
Tyler McCarthy.
From Connecticut, who's having a great year as well.
And don't think that wasn't planned. I mean, that group of kids, when we coached them as rising freshmen, myself and my assistant coach, Cody Cialino, they were a phenomenal group, but they just meshed. They play together. So it's no coincidence that those guys are going to college together. They want to make some noise for sure.
Great coaching staff up at Syracuse as well. Led, of course, by Gate as McEntee. Gets it off to Ventazulo. And now EI can get into their attack. Cuse might not get there this year. They're going to need some help and get a big win down the stretch. So likely missing the tournament again. But, you could see the young players, and Joey Spallina should certainly be the ACC Rookie of the Year. They're going to be pretty good coming forward, as that's a wide shot by Parker.
Yeah, I mean, I think you may even, next year see him on the Twarton list, because what he's doing over there and what they're doing collectively as a team is phenomenal. But they definitely have some young guys, but they definitely are a good team.
McEntee brings Savino to X.
So before we saw them dodge with him on the ISO up top, and now he's dodging at X.
And his passes just seem to be a little bit off.
Yeah, I just think Smithtown's put a lot of pressure on him. Made things difficult, hasn't made anything easy, but also he's initiated every offensive possession that they've had. He's been the one to start it up.
Here's Highland. He's got the lone Smithtown West goal, number 22. He's kind of settled into that starting role now, and this Smithtown team become a lot more comfortable. And there's Pace.
Now down at attack.
As you mentioned, right, doing so much hard work defensively. Maybe you rest him up there. Here he comes. Jump shot and another save for Walendowski.
And I think one thing that's helping East Islip right now is they're playing a zone on defense. So at least when McEntee gets back on that side, he can catch his breath a little bit, because, if I'm Smithtown West and they're in man-to-man, I'm attacking him.
Here he is, Sean Hannigan, number 4.
8th grader, man, on varsity. To be an 8th grader on varsity, it's a physical game. There's a lot of paperwork that goes with it. Your parents have to support it. So I give this guy all the credit in the world. I got an 8th grader on varsity too, and he actually plays goalie, which is kind of crazy. But these young guys that are stepping out in the field with the big boys, big ups to them, man. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
Well, what you get with Hannigan is a guy who Zumo says has the best lacrosse IQ of any kid that he's seen around. That includes, he said, Joey Spallina and Andrew McIndory. And he said he rivals those guys from a lacrosse acumen perspective. Here he is at X.
I believe it. Look at that.
Terrific look. Step inside. Great save by Bonacera to deny Heffernan.
He's got a great stick, and he knows the game, man. I mean, that's phenomenal. But that's the young guys playing lacrosse now. They're a few grades ahead of where players used to be back in the day.
So again, failed clear. Here's McEntee, and Hannigan will head back out to X. He said mature beyond his years. He has all the looks. And when you play, especially against the zone, is where Zumo loves him, because he can get 7-8 opportunities, and he always has the right feeds.
Yeah, and I think that actually plays into what he's good at, because he doesn't have a guy in his hands and pressuring him, and he's able to create.
So Zumo uses his second timeout of this, and last timeout of this first half, as we take a look at our upcoming SPORTSCAST schedule for you. And we've got a few good ones on Saturday, that is for sure. It's always a great afternoon at Northport when they remember the legacy of Louis Acampora. And it's Massapequa coming to town against Northport, 2 Class A traditional powerhouses. That'll be 2:30, and then it's the granddaddy of them all, the 139th edition of the Wood Stick Classic, Manhasset and Garden City. They both won at each other's home in the last 2 years. That should be a lot of fun. And 2 teams that don't share a lot of love for each other. The Dalers along with Syosset. That should be fun too. May 3rd at 5 o'clock. We head back out here. West Islip, Bayport, Blue Point on the 8th. And then the big rivalry, crosstown foes, Steelers and Pequea. And then it's Reeves Rock. Always a great game on the lacrosse calendar. Remembering, of course, James Regan, who lost his life serving this country. A Manhasset resident who played at Chaminade. And that's why those two tradition-rich programs meet each other every year in James Regan's memory.
Yeah, those are some good games for sure. Massapequa better strap up for Andrew Miller because that guy is a one-man wrecking crew for that team.
Yeah, we saw that on Saturday, a great game between Connetquot and Northport, and Connetquot won that one 11-10, and Miller, you could make the argument that not only is he obviously one of the, if not the best LSM in the Northeast, he's also right now on a young attack, maybe their best option, right? Because he just, even when he stays on with that pole.
He's Weapon X.
100%.
He is Weapon X. I mean, he is,
look at that, spinning from X and scoring. Great goal scored by Matt Baldino, and it's East Islip taking the 2-1 lead.
As a coach, that's all you can ask for. You burn a timeout, you give your guys some juice and some lungs, and they go out and they execute the play and get it done.
Here you see Baldino getting it from McEntee. Little spin, a little inside roll.
Yeah, really wasn't too much, just enough though. Just enough to score a goal. Inside roll, good stick protection by Baldino. And East Islip now up 2-1.
See 5:41 left in this first half. Cottage, great job by Coleman just to muck it up, right? You at least want to get those wings activated, even if they win this one. And Cooper battling, it's still loose. McEntee looking for it. Got pushed a little by Savino, and look at that effort by East Islip. Tremendous stuff. And here they come. Cooper, hands off, takes a bounce, and gets it to Parker.
So I think the big difference in putting McEntee at the midfield is obviously now you get him in that face-off. You create a scrum, and you have a guy that's a vacuum and can scoop him up and get you more possessions.
Here's Hannigan. To Parker's stick. Parker, just a sophomore, also a football player. And Zumo thinks probably the second best overall offensive player on this team. Calls he and McEntee ebony and ivory, and there he goes. Parker, the jump shot, and it's back-to-back goals for EI, and they take a 3-1 lead.
Well, you can tell Parker's been watching McEntee and probably mentoring him a little bit because this take from X looks like the same move he does. He braces for contact, then he leans in hard to finish the shot.
Credit Matt Baldino with the pick at X to create a little bit more space for Parker to finish his 15th goal of the year. And he's another one of those guys because of that football background, that grinder. He's on the wings, he plays defense, he initiates the transition as Cottage gets that one.
And if East Islip's going to, pull this off and get out of here with a win, that's what they're going to need. They're going to need help, and they're going to need more than just McEntee scoring.
And another errant pass goes the other way, so it seems like both teams are having issues just passing the ball here.
But that's for Smithtown West, that's the kind of play that they execute and score goals on, 90% of the time. So I'm sure coach isn't too happy about that turnover there.
Ventazzulo. Here's Heffernan. And you just wonder, even if we didn't see it there, just that early pressure that we saw from the poles and knowing that they're an aggressive athletic group, maybe that gets in the guy's head sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I tell my guys, and a lot of coaches tell their defensemen, get out there and touch their gloves. I mean, you can get 6 feet away from them. You don't have to worry about getting beat, but you want to put pressure on with your feet.
There's Ventazzulo. Gets it to X.
Man, he's smooth. He's smooth for a young guy.
Yeah, Hannigan. He's Zumo's like, he's all of 5'2", but don't worry about the size, man.
Yeah, size doesn't measure heart.
He just got a GB.
Yeah, I mean, and you see when he throws his passes, it's not like he's lobbing it up. He's rifling it into the older guys.
Another turnover. Now the Bulls are out and running, and it's Pace. Head up, looking for options. Plays a two-man game at X. Spinning,
Ooh,
turning, and firing with Savino.
That's a great take right there.
And he just pumped the brakes, switched hands. Watch it again.
So East Islip's been playing the zone, so it looks like there was some confusion because two guys end up being on the ball carrier, and then you get a good backside cut. But the roll to get back to his strong hand and finish is high-quality play.
For Savino, his 17th goal of the year, the Merrimack commit. A dynamic initiator, two-way midi, just gets the job done in both halves. Great between the boxes. And like pace, gets the job done on the other side of the ball as well. Nice ground ball by Parker.
Wow, there you go. And they got transition.
Parker!
Boom.
He gets it on the wing, the ground ball, and he goes to the cage.
That's going to be the difference for this East Islip team moving forward for the rest of the season is who else develops, who else blossoms, and who helps bring them along the way.
Look at this. Look where he gets the ball, too. And then he's used to playing on this field. You know that, right?
Yep. So he knows where he's getting to get his hands free. And Coop does the right thing as the long pole, cutting down the middle and just bringing some attention there. But that's a great play by Parker.
So listen, of the 7 face-offs so far, EI has got 3 wins. Zuma will take that against a guy like Cottage, who again we mentioned came in averaging 82%. Look at that flip to pace.
And you know East Islip can fly. They'll run up and down the field at you. They got the middies to do it, but Smithtown West is the team that I see score a lot of goals in transition too. So we haven't really seen them take off yet or get that advantage on face-offs that they have versus other teams.
And interesting too, right? Where Cottage is in, now he's coming off.
Here we go. So Smithtown will work in transition, but they'll make you defend at the same time.
At pace, at the cage.
That's a Smithtown play right there.
That was pretty.
Yeah, they hit you with the cat and mouse game with the face-off guy, and it messes you up defensively because now you're short one. And they're attacking the net as they have numbers in transition coming in. Yeah, they just overloaded the zone and left him underneath.
Good look by Byrne, his 2nd assist of the game in pace. The Hopkins commit gets his 1st goal and 12th of the season. Good response by Smithtown West there within 1.
Big face-off here.
Cooper on the wing.
Had a shot at it.
Can't scoop it up. Thought that might have been the time where Maltasanti might have used that last timeout if one of his guys was...
Yep, somebody grabbed the possession there.
So instead it's EI, so we give them a win. Again, and look at Parker again. Time and space, Parker. Now the poles converge. 3, in fact. Parker still has it!
Oh, baby.
Parker! Wow.
Parker, man, what a monster game he is having.
It's like Peter Parker there getting
his spidey sense on. Yeah, look
somehow
at that.
through dudes. Look at that.
3 guys.
Talk about a juice goal, man.
Yeah, that as a coach, that's when you see 3 guys hanging over on him, and you're trying to tell him to pull it out, and he just keeps pushing it through and makes a play. So that's a high risk, high reward. I'm sure you like to have the last possession there, but when you come back with a goal, it's okay.
That's a no, yeah.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly what that is.
And now pace off the wing, the ground ball pickup. And now Smithtown West inside as we approach the final 90 seconds of this first half.
Another clearing error, man. They got to get the ball over.
Look at that scoop by Hannigan.
Huge play.
And gets the McAtee, and now McAtee gets downhill. Bonacero the save. That's one where you probably could have and probably should have brought it back out and used some of the clock. You realize the time and score.
You could have, if you take a shot there, you got to go with the aim small, miss small. You shoot for the pipe, you miss it, you get the possession back. But that's 2 or 3 times we've seen him shoot high, and I think he's really got to start changing it up and take that same overhand shot or sidearm shot and put it low. Change the plane on him. Obviously, film's been watched, so switch it up.
Inside the final minute now of this first half. 2-goal game. East Islip with the lead. Pace hands off to Savino. Bounces it back to Pace. And now Montesanti will use that final timeout to work on something here in the final 34 seconds.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Gives us an opportunity now to show you the latest Varsity Media Sweet 16 poll. And see St. Anthony undefeated. It's hard to be undefeated at this time of year when you play the schedule that a St. Anthony's and a Manhasset and even a Mount Sinai does, right? They played Garden City. They beat them at Farmingdale State. So those 3 teams are undefeated. See Bayport, their lone loss to Mount Sinai, and Northport was undefeated, and they lost to Connecticut. So they dropped behind the T-Birds. And then you see the rest of the group Shoreham taking a little bit of a drop. West Islip, they are a sneaky team, man. Like, they've got some high-quality wins. You know, they beat the Dalers, they beat Connecticut, teams that are ahead of them in the rankings. So they jump in to the Sweet 16 as
and West Islip got a win today, too, over Sayville. So they're rolling a little bit. But this is it's so balanced here on Long Island, Suffolk County. I think, you know, this is probably one of the best graduating classes overall, senior classes that Long Island Lacrosse has seen in a while. I mean, every team has a guy. Every team's got 2 guys. Every team's got 3. So there's big-time lacrosse players here on Long Island, and you're seeing that in the NCAA too. You have 2 guys that are top 10 in points in the NCAA that are from Long Island. Matt Keegan, he's a Sachem North guy, and Dylan Pollinati, he plays at Stony Brook, and he's a Ward Melville guy.
And Pollinati was fantastic for Jay Negus' squad. And then you got those other guys, right, like the O'Neills and the Spalinas and the McIndories.
And you know, they don't even fall in, you know, the top 10 of points per game, but that just goes to show you how much depth there is in the college ranks with Long Island players.
The Kavanaugh boys at Notre Dame, we can go on and on.
Oh, for sure.
So, final possession we expect here, Savino.
So defensively, you know they're coming out with a set play or trying to run something, so just locking off maybe a key player is enough to throw them off.
Up top is Savino, 14 seconds left. Ball on the carpet, it's loose, and it's picked up. Big ground ball picked up by Jack Kalinowski, but it's still loose.
There you go. You know,
flag
that's the one
as well.
thing you didn't want to happen, and that was late too. I think they're going to get them both. That's the one thing, 7 seconds left, 8 seconds left. You kind of just want to keep it a scrum or hit the ball out, but looks like there's going to be a penalty both ways here.
Let's see. What do you see here, James?
There's a high hit right there on East Islip, probably cross-check to the head. And then there's another one that comes in late here. Oh, so they don't call the first one. That's the one that they call. They call one on Smithtown West and one on East Islip. Burns came in late for East Islip, but I think he was just frustrated. He saw one of his teammates getting hit around like a pinball.
So the conversation continues among the officials, and now I think we got it figured out.
And there's a pretty good officiating crew for this game. These guys do a really nice job.
All right, here we go. We got a cross check. That's going to be a 1 minute on East Islip. And then a high hit for Smithtown West, which will be locked in. So they're both a minute, but it appears the Smithtown West penalty is locked in. So we'll play 5-on-5. And out of that, it will be East Islip ball. So you saw the 1 minute cross check for East Islip, and then that high hit for Smithtown West that we saw. That's locked in. So they're both in for a minute, but an unreleasable for the Bulls.
Yeah.
And there'll be 57 seconds of that in the second half.
East Islip's just got to hold the ball here.
Now McEntee slings it down.
That's a good
Oh,
shot.
Sabonis-Era.
Yeah.
I don't know if he got caught up in the lights, but like he was late to see that. So you credit him with a save, his 6th of this first half. And it's East Islip with a 5-3 lead. Spidey sense, Parker gets through. He's slinging it, choo, choo, choo.
That's it, man.
And Parker has helped East Islip take a 5-3 lead here at the half. It's Smithtown West and East Islip right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media.
The Long Island Lacrosse Showcase has been the premier recruiting event in the nation for over a decade. Led by high school coaches in Nassau and Suffolk counties, our event annually draws the biggest and best college coaches. Past participants and MVPs have been Joey Spallina, Mac O'Keefe, and Xavier Arline. Registration is now open for this must-attend summer event. Register now at lilacshowcase.com and follow us on Instagram at lilacshowcase. And coming this fall, for the first time, our Girls Showcase.
Varsity Media offers live streaming, videography, and photography services for all teams and individuals of all ages. In business since 2010, we are the trusted source when it comes to sports media coverage. If you have a big game that needs to be filmed or live streamed, or an athlete in need of action photography, reach out today and save 15% when you mention this ad. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hi, I'm Gene Sterator, CBS Rules Analyst and longtime sports official. For the adults watching this video, you grew up in a world where officials, umpires, and referees for youth sports took their place regularly and reliably ahead of game time. Today, unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to fill those jobs. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media. And there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Massive shortages of officials now lead to games being canceled, and the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. I'm hoping we all can begin to see youth competition through a different lens. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule.
Any call, any decision, any human effect on wins and losses has become subject to not just withering criticism, but physical threats. There's a vicious cycle at work. Fans chase away officials, and there is a smaller pool to draw from, which makes it harder to get quality, well-trained people in position. The entire game suffers.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines? This sort of verbal abuse and threatening behavior takes a toll on all officials and makes them leave the game altogether.
Did you know from 2018 to 2022, an estimated 50,000 high school referees, roughly 20%, have quit? Half of the remaining referee population is at least 50 years old, but young officials are rarely staying more than 3 years in the job.
If the number of officials working contests in all sports doesn't begin to increase, there won't be enough officials to work the games. That means schedules will get cut, teams or even sports might get canceled. In many states, this is already happening.
Remember that officials are invested in what they do. Many officials have regular, full-time jobs, and they're sacrificing time away from their families. Try to demonstrate empathy. Put yourself in their position. Think how you would feel about getting yelled at throughout your workday.
Yelling and arguing with officials sends the wrong message to young players. According to Play by the Rules Sports Advocacy, it teaches them that it's not okay to make a mistake. They can blame others for their actions. They can disrespect authority figures. And it's okay to be rude and selfish.
You know, officials enforce rules, keep competitions fair, and make player safety a priority, allowing youth sports to be a valuable arena for growth. If we can all just work together and be more empathetic to not just the officials, but everyone else in youth and high school sports, we can then preserve what many of us have embraced about athletics. And you and I know the benefits of sports, right? Let's spread that gratitude and be proud of what we can build and not blind to how it's being torn down. Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Now is the time to order a college recruiting video with Varsity Media. College recruiting videos can save thousands of dollars on college tuition and help land a spot on the team. Our videos include your best plays set to music with spot shadowing effects to help you stand out from the competition. Contact Varsity Media today and mention this ad to save 15%. Call 516-403-2050 or email jeff@varsitymedia.net. Varsity Media offers live sportscasts for any event. Our productions include announcers, multiple camera angles, graphics, instant replay, and so much more.
Hankinson getting it back. Hankinson going in, dropping it back. The shot of the goal! That's it! That's it! Norton! Pittsburgh, the Class A champions!
If you want to enhance your event or make the experience better for your viewers, reach out to Varsity Media today and learn more about our live sportscast. Contact Varsity Media at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Under the lights here at Sal Ciampi Field at Boomer Esiason Stadium. Dylan Butler, James Curcio, the entire Varsity Media crew for this Suffolk Division II showdown. Sponsored by Breakout Goaltending Group, as well as the Long Island Metro Lacrosse Foundation. It's been a good one through the opening first half, as it's East Islip with a 2-goal advantage. 3 of those goals coming from Ryan Parker. Here's some first half stats. EI with the edge in shots. You see it there. 18-10. 6 first half saves for Bonacera. And the faceoff, that's the key, I think, right now, because this was coming in, we thought a significant edge for Smithtown West, and it's been negated really well, not only by Coleman, but also by the wing play of East Islip.
Yeah, East Islip's been able to hang in there, just tie him up. And then after the face-off, if they're not able to pick up the ball, they're able to ride really well. So the one stat that we didn't see there was Smithtown West's failed clears, and that's what's hurt him in this game.
So I was supposed to keep that as well?
No, you can't. Maybe I'll do that next time. But yeah, that's been a huge factor from them, and it's uncharacteristic for their team. They're successful in their clears, and they score goals in the clearing game and right off the face-off, and we haven't seen it from them. And East Islip's done an excellent job playing zone defense and riding their tail here in the second half. Does he force it? Is he trying to get goals, or is he just patient, creates offense, draws double teams, and looks to get his team involved?
You mentioned the All-Americans for Smithtown West before. East Islip, they've got 3, which includes McEntee's uncle, Tim. He's the first All-American here at EI, 1984 graduate, played his lacrosse at CW Post at the time. Of course, now it's LIU. Mark Spewitt as well, 1993, played at Hofstra, and then most recently John Sidorsky from the class of 18 at Lehigh.
And Coach McEntee was at Manhattan College for a long time, about I think 15 seasons. He's gone undefeated in MAC play up there. He was named MAC Coach of the Year, so he kind of put that Jasper's team on the mat. I had a friend that played up there for him and loved him as a coach, and great guy, and still keeps in touch with him today.
So the 5-on-5 face-off win, and now some extra room to move as we're, again, 5-on-5. Both teams had about 57 seconds of penalty time at the end. In the final seconds of the first half, it was a cross-check against East Islip and then a headshot against Smithtown West, which was the unreleasable of those 1 minutes.
So you saw Smithtown West win that face-off and come down the field with a little pace, and that's the transition play that I'm talking about. Right off the face-off, they generally are able to find opportunities and score on them, and East Islip's done a great job in slowing them down.
Liam Byrne, low to high shot, great save by Walendowski to deny pace.
Walendowski's having a good game too, and he's been steady in the net.
His 3rd save. Failed clear, and now Pace goes to the cage, and that's wide.
Good play by Pace, good recognition that he was just too far and not able to get back in the net. He just misses it by a little bit.
You know, one thing we didn't mention before, too, is just another thing that Zumo's got going for him is the facilities. What a terrific facility this is here at East Islip. This entire complex, it's hosted the Long Island Championship 2 years ago and the Suffolk Championships as well.
Yeah, it's great. And like I said before, the community is bought in, the parents, the kids. So that's what it takes to change. I mean, if you want to build that hotbed and that gold mine of the lacrosse town, you need to start with the culture.
And selfishly, I'd love to see them succeed and do well, because I think my ride today was about 7 minutes from home. I'll take that from Oakdale, no doubt.
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit easier,
yeah.
The commute.
Exactly.
We'll get a little more varsity media time, I'm sure.
Depending on whether that one light is red or green, then we'll see if it cuts it down. Inside roll.
Good slide.
Great slide.
Good Coma slide. Savino with the help defense. Good job.
Yeah, both teams really bringing it on that side of the ball.
And Smithtown West has their middies play great. I mean, they go down, they play offense and contribute, but their middies play phenomenal defense. And my college coach, the late Bill Bajornis, told me your team is only as good as your defensive midfield. So for Smithtown West, you're seeing that they're hanging around this game because of those guys.
And it's that old school mentality, right? They're two-way guys. You don't see a lot of – there's so much specialization in this game these days, whether it's the face-off guy, D-midi, like you are that thing. But at Smithtown West, you know, you're playing both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and you've seen guys that can, you know, play a little bit and get up and down, but not as dominant as these guys.
Another penalty, this against East Islip. And we'll see what this one will be called.
Looks like a trip.
Yep, it'll be a 1-minute trip.
Fruinti was playing good, aggressive defense, and it looks like their legs just got caught up a little bit. Yeah, he kind of tripped him from the back. He was fishing around for the stick. He landed in a tough spot, and it just happens sometimes when you're playing aggressive.
So second man-up opportunity for Smithtown West. They're 0 for 1. Remember, both teams were even earlier, so that doesn't come statistically doesn't count as a man-up, certainly, as now Smithtown West looks to move the ball around. 2 is Liam Byrne, a pair of assists so far for him. He's got it, looks for options, feeds the crease. Tough one for pace, and it's picked off well by Liam Allen. It's a loose ball now behind.
Still in.
And the clock's still ticking on this man down for...
Ooh, risky pass there.
Yeah, Waldowski's got to get back in his cage. He does. Back to Byrne up top.
And we talked about this earlier. Smithtown West hasn't really settled for any outside shots. They may not have as many shots, but they're all inside looks, inside 10 yards.
Savino's shot inside was high of the mark.
Yeah, Savino there too. He had a good opportunity. He puts that on the ground. That maybe goes in.
Now some confusion at the table. We saw McEntee sort of come in there, and I think there was just a question about the penalty time, whether it was up or they started too early. So now we'll get that figured out at the scorer's table.
And that's obviously a huge part of why these officials want the time down on the field as opposed to up in the box. And it's important that the people who are doing the time are doing it correctly and sending guys in and releasing the penalties accurately. So everybody study your lacrosse. Work in the game.
Fitzsimmons back to Byrne. Now we are even. Pace spins. Getting hacked there by Burns. One more. A look around. Spinning. Smithtown West. Good ball movement, but again lost, and again it is Allen.
Yeah, very, very, very good ball movement, and all it took was one little dropsy, and now they're fighting for possession.
And Islip comes away. Fire, look at that, clear. And now McEntee with room to run. Look to the crease, great fake in the goal. How about that one for East Islip? It's Matt Baldino with the goal.
And that's the second time we've seen East Islip slip on that clear and just have a guy deep to create transition. Earlier it was, who was it? Cooper. Cooper had that goal where he snuck behind the defense and was able to put it in, and now McEntee starts the fast break going the other way.
That was Brandon Rizzo. Great to see him back to the sophomore. Gets it all the way up, and there's the end. Look at the fake right there. Perfect.
Yup, good skip pass, and that's exactly what you teach. He keeps his stick in position, just uses the head and shoulders to move the goalie, kind of get him up a little bit, and is able to finish. And in the beginning of the game, I saw the way East Islip was setting up for the face-off and didn't have a long pull at the X, so I didn't really know what their approach is, but they've done a phenomenal, phenomenal job winning possessions off the actual face-off.
And Zumo uses one of his timeouts here when things were a little bit scattered.
Yeah, that's a good call, though. I mean, you have a 3-goal lead. Time is dwindling down the third quarter. If you can score another goal here, you make it tough for teams to climb back. On East Islip, they've had a lead before. They just had one versus Comswag the other day and kind of had them on the ropes, and Comswag was able to rally back and get the win. So this looks like maybe something that they've changed from the past game, a little learning experience.
Well, Zumo said between Comswag and Smithtown West, This is our midterms exam. Where do we stand in Class B? Are we just another team in the mix, or are we going to compete for a home playoff game? And you see the upcoming schedule for East Islip. They go up to Pelham for a non-league game on Saturday afternoon. They'll take the short trip down Montauk Highway to Sayville. And then it's Islip, and then a tough one up at Mount Sinai as well. And again, too, it's you play all these teams. It's all mixed together in Division II between B, C, and D, but ultimately the B games are kind of like those extra games, right? It's almost like extra points are on the line because you go into a different category for the postseason, which is why this one also is so important.
And the teams who are seated right next to you or right above you or right below you, those games are extremely important because, if you and that team are both losing to the same top two teams, the Mount Sinai and Shoreham Wading River, and you're beating the same two bottom teams, then it comes down to you guys playing each other and who's going to get the spot.
So similar situation we saw before. Timeout called as you're attempting to clear. And now McEntee will go punt return.
Yeah.
And knock a few dudes down in the process.
Yeah, he's no stranger to open space and running past guys. So
low shot, fired wide by Hannigan. The eighth grader has 5 goals on the season.
I really like Hannigan's game. You can see that he's young, but he plays within his own game. He hasn't gotten himself into any trouble tonight. He's moved the ball quickly. His passes have been sharp.
Another high shot wide of the mark. And that's the one thing, too, that Zumo came out of that Comstois game thinking. And again, too, he's that offensive mind, right? So he's always going to go against an offense that doesn't score on a great goalie because there are things inside the game that he figured EI could have done better, maybe different, better looks, changing angles a little bit better as Heffernan harassed at X.
Yeah, they had a closeout games, so that's what the situation they're in right now, and do they learn and grow from it?
Ooh, Pace picked off that pass in the passing lane, but it comes right back to McEntee. McEntee wasn't slumping his shoulders, upset that he lost the ball. He was hunting to get it back.
And besides McEntee's stick skills, which are obviously, second to none, his change of direction is phenomenal, and that's what makes him elite.
Great skip. Firing and a save again by Bonacera. The rebound, another save by Bonacera. 2 for $1.
Wow. He goes up top, he makes a save, he goes down low, and he makes a save. And McEntee's first shot, again, he shot it high, and I know we said it earlier, he's got to change the plane on him, and then he comes with the low to low. So he's got to change planes where he's bringing up his stick high and then shooting low, or bringing his stick low and then shooting high, and he hasn't done that yet.
I think that shot was so good that it might have broken Bonacera's stick. He had to quickly scamper to the sideline to get Ray Sherwood to give him a new one. So Liam Byrne, and we talk about juice plays in the sport of lacrosse. Could those be a pair of juice saves and just maybe what Smithtown West needed? Savino splitting defenders.
Play.
But it's unable to be kept in at X by Liam Byrne.
Yeah, you can only play defense for so long before you kind of break, and we've seen Smithtown West bend a little bit, but this is the turning point in the game. Is East Islip going to break them, or are they going to be able to bounce back and score a few goals and rally?
Here's Jesse Burns splitting a few. Ball on the carpet. Cooper chases after it. And it comes back to the Bulls. And now they've got numbers going the other way. Fitzsimmons shoots
Good shot. No backup, though, so they're going to lose possession here.
And that's the threat and the danger, right? When you go unsettled.
When you play with that pace, it could come back and bite you too, and that's going to be the difference.
Parker bounces off a few. A flag is thrown.
Yeah, that's going to be a cross check. They're going to call him hitting him high and with his hands apart.
So a delayed penalty, and East Islip could just play with this a little bit.
So everybody's done a pretty good job as far as settled offense and defense. The settled defenses for both teams have held the offenses, but everyone's made the most of their opportunities in transition. So we got to see Smithtown West, if they want to get back in this game, get some goals off transition.
There's Ventazullo. He's converted from an attack last year. Great rider. And Heffernan, you see the good job affecting his hands, right? Getting in and affecting that shot. So it's a 1 minute man up for EI. It's actually their first man up of the game.
And that was almost another goal there. It looked like Kazlukas just got his stick on the shooter.
Heffernan, number 11, primarily an inside finisher, and you see good size, right? 6'2" for number 11 of East Islip. Good speed, lefty-righty, was a midi last year, bumped up to attack late in the season a year ago.
He did a good job. He sealed his defender off, showed his stick, and they fed it into him. Just kind of lost it at the last second. It looks like he caught a little check.
Big man up here for East Islip. You're up 3. It's late in the third quarter. You can really put pressure on Smithtown West here if you get a man-up goal.
Yeah, and you want a high percentage shot. There's no need to rush here.
That's exactly right.
There it is.
And the finish by Jack Kalinowski, the sophomore, the left-handed bull.
Yeah, he buried that in the top right corner.
See it again.
He's just sitting in that lefty spot, and he's able to get all of his power and momentum into it and rips it. And the biggest thing here is, like, that's a 10-yard shot, and the old saying is, like, to give up the shots at 10 yards or 11 yards to your goalie. But I say it all the time. Everybody is too good now offensively to give up a 10-yard shot. You have to get to guys' hands at 12 yards.
Kalinowski, along with Cooper and Parker, they are all tailbacks and fullbacks on the football team. Face-off win. Cottage goes low, and a save by Walendowski.
Yeah, Cottage has seen a few shots come in too, and he's made some great plays on the ball and stopping them. And
watch out. Somehow it goes EI's way.
Got an opportunity here.
Now numbers, but going high and making the save was Bonacera. I think Bonacera is Italian for good save. I'm not sure exactly, but he has made a few here tonight. 9 total saves for Dylan Bonacera, the junior.
He has done, and you can see he's got that fast twitch and that quick reflex to get to the ball, but he also hasn't been challenged low. Neither goalie really has too much.
That second shot.
Yeah, the second one, McEntee's second shot was a low to low, so he read it well. And you just kind of want to see someone take an old school bounce shot. We haven't seen it yet. With the amount of shots that are in this game, you feel like there are some goals left out there.
Liam Burns spins. And these poles, they don't give you time and room. And how about that? Great defensive work and the takeaway as well by Affronti.
And Affronti, not only did he play great defense, but once his attackman went down to the ground, he didn't get over anxious, he didn't get over aggressive, and he just found the stick and got the ball out. That's a great play.
That's a great catch to make sure that Ventazullo is able to get in. Spinning at the cage and scoring is Baldino.
Baldino, baby.
And what a third quarter for EI. That's Baldino's third, and they extend this lead to 8-3.
And I think Baldino's going to be a huge piece for them going forward and making a postseason run, because playing that lefty spot across from McEntee, you're going to get opportunities, and can you finish on it? And this one, he finishes.
Spun at the cage, turned and fired. The lefty attackman, he's got the ability to play from behind in transition, off ball. He doesn't have that blow-by-you speed, but he's got that lacrosse IQ. So he'll always be in the right place, right time, do the right things. Cottage, a face-off win. And now it's 8-3, and it's getting late a little bit early for Smithtown West. A forced pass in front, and it's taken away by Cooper.
Cooper's going to pass and cut. I think he's going to get a chance inside if they see him. Nope. Good defense. They took it away.
Baldino. And now as we approach the final minute of this third quarter, EI could really just kind of hold on here and maybe take one chance, a high percentage chance at the cage, and at worst case, you're going in with an 8-3 lead. At best case, you've increased that to 9.
And you're going to see more of this now coming in the fourth quarter. You're going to see the cat and mouse game. You're going to see East Islip slowing the pace of the game and maybe not trying to push the net as quickly.
There is Baldino as we approach 30 seconds left in the third quarter.
Probably see them go to the net inside 15.
Baldino backs up. There is 15, and now he'll look to go. Baldino spins again, turns, fires.
Wow, Baldino, baby. Wow.
His fourth, and just as Tommy Zumo would have dialed it up.
Wow, what a great take by Baldino. Not only was he working him in the corner over the last minute, then he comes in and he kind of makes a circus shot. Goalie's not really expecting it. Double teams coming over. That was one of those aim small, miss small shots. I mean, it was either going in the corner or it was going to miss off one of the pipes. But what a play by Baldino, and you can see now with his goals and Parker's goals, East Islip is becoming a complete team.
18 goals now in the season for Baldino, 4 on this game. You've got 4 from him, 3 from Ryan Parker. You haven't even needed McAdee to do McAdee things.
Yep. And you can see, like we talked about before, Smithtown definitely prepared for him. But now how do they adjust to the rest of the guys able to contribute to this team?
A huge third quarter for East Islip. And they're getting contributions from everyone, including Matty B, Matt Baldino at the cage, and he's got East Islip leading 9-3 after 3 at Smithtown West and East Islip right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. The Long Island Lacrosse Showcase has been the premier recruiting event in the nation for over a decade. Led by high school coaches in Nassau and Suffolk counties, our event annually draws the biggest and best college coaches. Past participants and MVPs have been Joey Spallina, Mac O'Keefe, and Xavier Arline. Registration is now open for this must-attend summer event. Register now at lilacshowcase.com and follow us on Instagram at LILACShowcase. And coming this fall, for the first time, our Girls Showcase.
Are you a local business looking to advertise? Well, Varsity Media is the perfect place for you. We offer affordable rates both inside our live stream broadcast and through our social media channels. With coverage all over Long Island targeting the 16 to 54 demographic, why not take advantage and advertise today? For pricing and inventory availability, contact us today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to East Islip High School. Dylan Butler, James Curcio with you, the entire Varsity Media crew for the final 12 minutes of regulation time and a great third quarter for East Islip. A 4-0 third quarter. They take a 2-goal lead and they expand it out to 9-3.
East Islip is ready to seal the deal, what it looks like, and we talked about it earlier in the game. When they hold their opponents to 9 goals or less, they're 6-1 this season. So this is they've definitely increased their chances to win this game.
Bring in the stats. I love you were waiting for the fourth quarter to do that.
I'm a homework guy. Yeah, I do my homework.
And Cottage will win another face-off.
Oh,
Cottage.
Good play by Cottage.
Fogo
there you
goal!
Go. There you go, Dylan. Get up. Cottage building his own house.
Taking another on the bingo card here. We've got a Fogo goal. We've got a pole goal. We need one of these goalies now to step up. But a big face-off win by Cottage, and then he'll go straight to the cage for the goal. And those are juice goals as well, as Cottage gets goal number 2 on the season.
And I was just going to say it, the one thing that makes this team, Smithtown West, never out of it is their face-off play. So he can score goals in a hurry. They can score goals in a hurry, and 2 or 3 goals quick, and Coach Zumo is going to be ready to figure something else out.
Yeah, he's 11 for now with this one, 11 for 17.
This might be another turnover here. Big ground ball. There you go. East Islip.
Bernardos.
You got a timeout off?
No, they've failure to get it in. So
it's tough to hear the whistle in here sometimes.
I mean, we could open the window for you, but it's a little bit chilly.
Yeah, no.
It's not quite as cold as it was last year. I think we're at 30 degrees warmer here tonight, but still.
Yeah, you would have thought we were on a boat with the wind gusts that we were getting up here.
So here we go. EI.
Let's see how the clear goes here. Smithtown West riding in faceoffs is going to be their opportunity to get back in this game. Oh, great check.
Pace,
man. No wonder why he's going to Hopkins, and I'm sure he'll start his career there playing a lot of defense, but that was a great check for a short stick. Moves his feet, gets the stick all the way around.
Savino, blast it.
There you go.
And that's a bouncer. You were requesting it.
That's a good shot.
It's 27-15 unofficially the edge in shots for East Islip. And here's Savino. He's got the short stick. Turns on Rizzuto. And an errant pass.
We've seen a lot of passes that were just a little bit high today over their teammates' heads for both teams.
Look at that. Burns just launches one down. Finds his fellow pole. Kalinowski, who had a pole goal in EI's last game. So they've gone back-to-back games now with pole goals, and now EI will look to possess.
East Islip's done that on a handful of clears. They've had a long pole just deep in the center, and nobody's covered them, and they've thrown it to them and basically getting a free clear on it every time.
Bernardos to McEntee, who set that initial pick for Bernardos, and now he gets it back.
And now you see where McEntee is. He's playing attack. He's behind the net. You can tell East Islip's going to go to him, and they're going to get ready to start icing the game and trying to get a nice long possession.
Smart shots, smart passes right now, the key for East Islip as Bernardo spins on his man, cuts it the other way to his left. Works it to X. You've got a cutter in Ventazulo. But it just worked back out as now Ventazulo gets it on top. Gets it to Parker, who we have deemed here tonight as one of the Avengers, it seems, for East Islip for his work.
For sure.
There he is at X.
I'm sure we're going to get a call to keep it in soon.
Yeah, I was wondering if that's coming up in the next few seconds.
I'd say within the next
And
15.
here it is.
Yeah, there you go.
So now EI's got to keep it in. And expect a little more aggression, and here they come, the Bulls, realizing that.
See, you got that's.
Ooh, just kind of forcing it inside. The ground ball picked up.
Brought it out.
And he did bring it out.
See, they send the double team behind. Then East Islip brings one more guy, McEntee, back there to help. If you're the defense, you have to shut that guy off so that you can keep the double team on the ball handler. And obviously, a lot of this is going to change with the shot clock coming into effect, too. You're not going to see that stall call. You're going to see the 80 seconds, and then...
yeah, we expect that in 2 years' time is what we are being told. Nothing necessarily, I think, official from the state yet, but that's the word.
Yeah, the schools just need a little bit of time to financially get these shot clocks and get everybody schooled up on, obviously, the game and how the shot clock is going to work.
think they should contact Ben Turchin. He might want to donate. He might donate a couple of shot clocks in there.
Yeah. Throw the Varsity Media logo on it.
Yeah, now you're talking. The marketing genius that you are. So here's Fitzsimmons. Also yet to get on the score card here tonight.
And even though there's 7 minutes left, you don't want to rush it.
Oh, he had time and space.
That's
fires it wide.
Did they get? Yep, they got back up. But like I was saying before, even though there's 7 minutes left, you don't want to rush here to the net. You want to get high-quality shots because, like we said, Smithtown can score goals in a hurry off the face-off.
Oh, great move to the cage. Sidearm shot by Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, he shot it right in the stick.
He certainly did. It's the 5th save for Walendowski. And it goes right into EI's. It was perfect for EI, right? Because an easy save for Walendowski, you get the clear, and now again you're in the situation where, and usually we see it in this game too, right? Like you get the first stall warning, and the officials are pretty quick then to hit you with the second one if they don't see you going to the cage. So Bernardos will work his man to X.
Yeah, now Smithtown is going to have to try and send a double team quickly, but
Here it comes.
This is what we were talking about before. Whoever pops out next at X has to cut him off. See how they're just leaving him open at X? You got to take that away and make the ball handler deal with the long pole.
Here's McEntee. Noche has been the guy who's come out on the double. And he thought about it. Here it comes now.
Force him one way if you're the short stick.
McEntee
Can't let him roll
spins.
back.
He'll get help from Bernardos. Well played for East Islip.
And that's the pass we're talking about. That second pass, you have to take that away. Right now, they should be locking off McEntee.
And you see their stall warning back on.
Timeout.
Timeout for East Islip.
Good call.
With 5:50 left in this fourth quarter. So Smithtown West trying to fight back. They are 5-3, 4-3 on the season, coming off that 11-6 win over John Glenn, which was preceded by a 15-11 loss to West Hampton. Here's their upcoming schedule. Harborfields, that really dangerous West Islip team as well, comes to town on May 2nd. And then ESM, and then at Comstock. What a great facility at Comstock there. And again, that's no easy schedule for Bobby Moltisanti's guys.
Yeah, and Comstock's been in a lot of close games with teams. They fell behind in games, and they've managed with great defense, and obviously Coach Mitchell and great goalkeeper play. They've been able to crawl back into a lot of these games and come out victorious.
Hey, you know what you're getting from the Warriors, right? Regardless of the personnel.
Great goalie play.
Great goalie play, a blue-collar mentality. They're going to ride you to death, and they're going to be physical.
And you're going to hear Coach Mitchell the whole game. I mean, those are the facts with Comstock. But Smithtown West, listen, they fought here. They came out offensively, 6-on-6. They haven't been able to generate too much. The cat and mouse game they play with the face-off and transition, they haven't been able to capitalize on too many of those opportunities. East Islip's just done a nice job so far, but we'll see how this game finishes.
See the huddle there for Smithtown West. A year ago, 13-5. They made the county championship, losing to the aforementioned Warriors of Comstock. And they graduated both of the Trebbing boys, Ryan and Ronnie, both now playing up at Geneseo. And East Islip, a year ago, they were 9-8. They lost to West Hampton in the B quarterfinals by a goal.
And I think some of those past Smithtown West teams, if they were playing in B, you may have seen a county championship. But you got to remember, they are a Class A team. In 2007, when I was over at Sachem East, they were playing in Class A. They were everyone had to run through the whole West Islip gauntlet. So that was
you mentioned it there, right? You had that run where it was West Islip, right? And then Ward Melville's kind of been that signature program like the Blue Blood, where they're always in it. They've got, I believe it's 10 state championships, second only to West Genesee, who's got 15. So
and not so long ago, they had the three-peat.
Yeah, exactly. And then Smithtown East, to make things worse for Smithtown West, they had a little bit of a run as well, and they won a county title.
Yeah, Smithtown East definitely had some good players too. Stefuric and Matt Hull played for Harvard. So
Smithtown West, after the turnover, what can they do here is the score for East Islip. Tommy Highland at X.
Yeah, you're still in it, believe it or not. I mean, you can give yourself about a minute for every goal and fight your way back. Just got to take high percentage shots and get shots on net. Maybe get a rebound.
Here's Pace. Getting that zone look for EI. We've seen so many high school programs this year, it feels like, especially going to this zone look.
Oh, for sure, yeah. A zone, so with the zone, a lot of teams that may not have the best athletes.
Oh, swim, dodge, and the goal for Fitzsimmons.
Perfect time for that swim move. Will Fitz giving Smithtown West life.
First of the game, 15th of the season. Look at that. A little over-aggressive by Burns, right? So it allows him to swim around that pole and get his hands free. And a big one for the Newberry commit.
Yeah, defensively, you teach those guys, take big steps as you approach, and when you get close, you start chopping them up and making them smaller. Big, big, small, small. So just kind of overplayed them and didn't break down to play defense.
4:24 left.
But what I was saying before about the zone is basically if you have great athletes and you have a defense that communicates, it makes your zone that much more elite. And you can see that that's what East Islip has here.
Face-off win for EI with McEntee getting the ball off the carpet. You see there, he's like, get out of the way. Telling the 8th grader, I got it here. And you're kind of getting almost into this point of the game, right, where does Bonacera start to come out as that extra defender?
Yep. You got to – they're putting a little bit pressure. Smithtown West is putting some pressure on with their feet, but this is where you got to start throwing those checks and trying to really put the ball on the turf. The other problem is every time they make a pass, Smithtown West is getting back into the crease.
And now Bonacera does come out, but a little miscommunication there. Just trying to figure out who picks up who.
There you go. They tried to lock him off. You got to start pushing out and locking everybody off.
Spinning, turning, losing it from behind, and then the 8th grader went to unload there. And
you got to get an extra defenseman back there right now, right off the inbound.
Well, they heard you, Coach.
There you go.
Here comes that extra defender. Here comes McEntee.
A little late, though. Ooh, still got a lift.
Good backup.
Right now, put 2 poles back there.
And there's
good job by East
dunk.
So these are those scenarios where you kind of find out who you are as a team and what you've learned and what are these guys, because you don't get to practice this all the time. It's kind of like special teams in varsity football where you touch on it throughout the week. These end of the game scenarios and stuff like that, you can't do it every single day. So maybe you pick and choose.
Like once Baldino beat that man, and again, you've got to be over aggressive, right? As one of these poles, he had that space to score his 5th goal of this game.
Yeah, it's almost better for Smithtown West because they kind of want to just get back into the face-off game where they can win possessions and attack the net.
And now they've got to go. You're down 5 inside the final 3 minutes. A flag is thrown.
And this is going to be the toughest part for Smithtown West is their offense is not really built for this. They're built to possess the ball, look for guys inside. They don't really take outside shots often.
Jump shot was saved. And now we'll see what the penalty is. Unofficially, Walendowski picks up his 6th save of the game. It'll be a slash, 1 minute. Smithtown West with a man up inside this final 2:33. It's their 3rd man up, 0 for 2 thus far.
That hurts too. I mean, every in these kind of games where this is what I call a mirror game. You know, you look in the mirror and the guy on the other side is just like you. And both these teams, they want the same thing. They have similar type players and, you know, they're in the same spot in the standings.
And that's just what you didn't need if you were Smithtown West. You're a man up chasing goals and then you turn it over.
Rizzuto's done a great job tonight in the clearing game. He's used his legs, and he's been able to get it up there. And these D-middies don't get love all the time, so Rizzuto, awesome job tonight.
Yeah, and again, in our conversation, even leading into the Comstock game, I don't believe he played in that game. He's been injured, but the sophomore, Zumo, says he would be his team's top short stick D-middy. And he plays that role, that shutdown short stick.
Yeah, he's done a great job tonight, and he's played solid defense. I saw him out there on man down, but he's helped tremendously in the clearing game.
Yeah, we saw him with that long clear, as you mentioned. It's clearly worked on the practice field, right out to midfield. And now EI's in control here.
There you go. You got to force him one way.
And if you're Bonacera, I think you got to, now that they're even, he's got to come out again. Coming out is Parker. As we're inside the final 90 seconds, Parker will get doubled.
You see how he's letting them run around left and right? You got to just sell out, get your feet, get your body higher up where he can't go around you.
Parker.
There it is. Oh.
Splits him. And he's got help in the 8th grade, but Parker's like, don't worry. We're not going to have you take the punishment here. I'll take it.
Yeah. Oh, good check.
Pace lost his stick. And now Hannigan gets it and just slings it back out.
Yeah, Hannigan is just smooth, man.
Inside the final minute, as East Islip looking to pick up a big win off that tough 2-goal loss to Comstock.
And you can tell they've learned from that game because they were in a similar situation and Comstock was able to fire back, and this time they were able to close it out. And I'm excited to see East Islip go the rest of the season, see what else they have in store for us.
Hannigan gets it up to Baldino, and what a game Matty B has had. 5 goals, half of his team's offensive production here tonight. So it's been Baldino on attack. That's
going to be it.
Yeah, he just throws it back. Baldino on attack, a whole host of pulls defensively. And East Islip picks up a really big win here in Suffolk D2, beating Smithtown West 10-5.
This is impressive for East Islip. I mean, for them to come out here, hold Smithtown West to 5 goals, score in the double digits, and get out of here with a win, that's huge.
And zeros for McEntee in terms of his goals and assists, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're Smithtown West, you control McEntee maybe being one of your keys, and you do that, and you've got Cottage at the faceoff, actually kind of like your chances there. But again, it was the other guys, Baldino with 5 and Parker with 3. Jack Kalinowski gets up 1. Cooper with the long pole goal as well. So, and solid play in the cage as well by Walendowski. And then you battled at the faceoff X. Coleman didn't win, right, the majority of them, but he got the wings involved. He mucked it up a little bit, and he let his guys get the GBs, and they were really good on the ground as well, East Islip.
Yeah, Coleman was excellent. He showed that he can hang in there with the best of them, and obviously what you saw from East Islip tonight was them do it as a team. If I'm the other opposing coach, and the majority of coaches, they're going to try and shut down McEntee, and East Islip showed tonight that, okay, you can take that away, but you can't take away this and this. So they showed that they have that utility knife, and they have a bunch of different tools on it, and it's just going to be which one are they using for that project.
So Smithtown West loses this one, but they do get the breakout goaltending group save of the game. Breakout goaltending group, you see there, breakoutgoaltending.com, 877-GOAL121. You get elite training from the Breakout Goaltending Group, boys, girls of all ages. Really good goalie training by the Breakout Goaltending Group. And here it is, the 2 for $1 right here in the 3rd quarter. Watch Bonacera. Gets McEntee. I think that might have been where he broke his stick.
Yeah.
And then he gets low, or maybe that was it. But a tremendous effort and 2 terrific saves by that man right there, number 1, the junior.
He kind of had his number. He had McEntee's number a little bit tonight. He did a good job in net.
9 saves on the night in the losing effort for Smithtown West, but Bonacera is going to be really good. And you can see it there, the breakout goaltending group save of the game. So Smithtown West, they dropped to 5-4, 4-4 in Suffolk D2, and East Islip, they improved to 7-3 and 6-3 in Suffolk D2. That'll do it from us here at East Islip High School for our entire Varsity Media crew. Our executive producer, Ben Turchin, our technical director, Chris Sweeney, Travis DeLuise up top, bringing you all the moving images. For my broadcast partner, James Curcio, I'm Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from East Islip, and we look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.